For one part of your project, the project How Can I Help You, you're going to have to create a survey. And the tool that I want you to use is Microsoft Forms. So I just want to give you a brief overview of how you're going to do this. Actually, when you come into the portal and you go into Forms, you will see the option to actually create a new form. But what I want you to know is that I've created an example for you, and you can actually take this example and you can use it. You can alter it, add more questions, or change the order of any of the questions that you see here. So looking at the questions that we've included, anything that has a red asterisk next to it means that this is a required question. So you'll notice that for the first one, I haven't placed I haven't made this field required because you don't want to force students to give their names. Certainly if they want to, they can, but you don't want to force them. So the first question is to enter your name, and then gender we want, and their grade level, ethnicity, and also we want to ask them direct questions such as if they've been bullied or if they've been abused, and then we want to see exactly when. Now, based on the other material that you're going to be looking at, you'll determine if there are any other questions that you want to add to this form. But adding a question is as simple as clicking on this right here, the add button, and then you'll notice that the types of questions you can add would include a choice, text if you want to give them an area where they give you open response, if you want them to rate something, or if you want them to select a date of any sort. These are the types of questions that you can add. So if I were to click right here on choice, now you see I would just type the question in here and then I would give them the choices, and if I want to give them more than two, I just add option. At this point, I'm going to click on required, which now means that they have to answer this question and they won't be able to advance unless they have actually answered the question. Okay? So going back to what we have here, you can edit any of these, and if you want to add an image to help enhance what you're asking them or give them examples, you can just use this button here to add your image. Now, once you've finished, you're going to have to share this form. So right up here where it says share, you're going to click on it, and you'll notice what I gave you was a URL. But notice that this URL here is kind of long when you copy it. The thing that I like to use is tinyURL, and if you go to that, it's just as it sounds, tinyurl.com, and then you can paste in this long URL, click short, make short, and it will give you a shortened URL. So when you see the URL that I've given you for the project, you'll notice that that is how it's done. So once they click on that link, it will take them directly to your form. They'll fill in the answers, and interestingly, you get the responses. On this, you'll notice that there are not any responses yet, so you don't see anything. But I do have a form that I can show you just to see what the data looks like. This is a form that I created a while ago that deals with people's technology comfort level. Okay, so this is how the form looks, and when I look at the responses, and this is what's going to be really interesting for you when you start to collect the data from your forms, you'll see how many people have responded right here. You'll see the amount of time that that it took on average for each person to complete it, and then whether the form is still active or not. So you can view the results right here by clicking on this button, and it will give you a tabular form, or you can open it in Excel. But graphically, I like to look through here and see the information. This, for example, the question was, which of the following hardware are you comfortable using? And the hardware I was looking at was iPads, Microsoft Surface with the stylus, interactive whiteboards, document cameras, or none of the above. Now notice that the legend is right here. So graphically, you can see right here the majority of people are very comfortable with working with this area, the iPads, and you see it in the legend here. It's in blue, but when you come over here, just hover with your cursor and it will show you exactly what we're talking about. Okay, and then the second biggest area that people are comfortable working with is the Microsoft Surface with the stylus. So you see how you can start to look at the aggregate data that you have. If you want to look at details, for example, I can click here and I can see each person and what they said they were comfortable with, and you'll be able to do that with the information that you place on your survey. Okay. When you begin to disaggregate your data, you can actually, it's probably easier for you to just click right here, open an Excel, and it will shoot every question into its own form, into its own column, and then you can sort on that data. Then you can start to look at that data in a different way, which will help you to start formulating the elements of the learning module that you are going to create. And of course, if you have any questions about how to create your form, you can always ask me in class. All right, so there's your preview on creating your Microsoft forms.